What's going on, YouTube? Got another video for you today, and I finally got around to reading it. Came out last Wednesday. We got Absolute Batman Annual #1, and this is a variant cover I picked up at my comic book shop, and it is just gorgeous. I mean, just look at it. You got Bruce, 7 feet tall, taking out an entire horde of party animals with his battle axe. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it was a great read. I now currently have it sealed away because I had it in my backpack and actually creased the corner up here, which I'm not too happy about. Really hope this doesn't blow up in price one day, but that's not what we're worried about. But enough, admiring this artwork. Let's talk about this comic because it was a great goddamn read. So we open up with Bruce Wayne as a kid speaking with his dad, and they're kind of going over a story in the newspaper about an extremist bombing. And Bruce just goes, "Why did they do this?" And his dad just says, "I wish I knew." And Bruce goes, "What do we do? How do we make them stop?" And his dad goes, "I don't know. I'm just one person. I don't know how to fix the world. But I know what I'm good at, teaching. Every student I meet, I know I have a chance to make a difference in their life. So maybe someday one of my students won't make the same mistake these people did." He then goes, "And what about you, kiddo? What will you do?" And we get this illustration of Batman just aura farming with a goddamn flamethrower. This story's so good. We then pick up with an adult Bruce driving outside of a place called Slaughter Swamp, and it's just completely run down. All the citizens are living outside of tents. It isn't really that great of a place, it looks like. We then switch to Bruce inside of a gun store, and he's speaking with the owner, and the owner says, "As requested, explosive, modified rubber bullets, bean bags, the works." And Bruce asks, "Non-lethal?" And the guy goes, "Less lethal." And Bruce just says, "That'll work." And that's just so typical of Batman. Like, yeah, you might have brain damage, but you won't be dead, so that's okay with me. So then the owner asks, "I should know better than to ask, but what's all this for?" And Bruce just goes, "I've got my needs." And the guy says, "And I got mine. Thanks, kid." And Bruce just leaves with everything he's got. But before Bruce leaves, he starts to ask about the camp. He says, "That large project on the edge of town, what's going on?" And the man replies, "Some company came in with big money and big promises. 3 months into construction, they up and left." And Bruce says, "Just like that?" And he says, "Who knows why? What's left is what you saw when you drove in." And Bruce asks where all those people came from, and the man says, "Hell if I know. Came looking for something better and didn't find it." They're then interrupted by some commotion going on outside, and the man just says, "Leave that alone, son. Nothing you can do." But you know Batman, he's not going to stop. He's going to go out and help. We then see these 3 thugs kind of attacking these 2 immigrants on the ground. And they're basically saying, "This town belongs to us. You're the stranger here. You're the one who doesn't belong. Time to grow up, kid. Get ready for a beating." And right when he says that, Bruce feeds him his entire hand. Literally, his whole fist is just engulfed by this guy's entire face. They then go on to say, "Bro, you just made a big mistake." And Bruce says, "We'll see." The shop owner then turns on Bruce saying, "Shoulda listened, city boy." And then we get this guy DJ saying, "What do we have here?" And the shop owner goes, "Out of towner, savior complex." DJ then kicks Bruce in the stomach and says, "Hey, chin up, man. It's your lucky day. Tonight is when we get to pay back this horrible city that turned its back on our boys and embraced the swill. All that changes now, starting with you." And they just start pummeling Bruce. The fight is then interrupted by this priest that we got a brief glimpse of in the beginning of the comic. And one of the guys is like, "What are you doing?" And the priest just addresses him by name and says, "Jeffrey, I've known you since before you could walk. This is not you." And DJ just says, "Let's do what we came here to do. Let's get out of here." So we kind of see here that the people are desperate, and they're just looking for someone to blame for all the things that are going wrong. And at this point, they don't really care whether they're right or wrong. They just want someone to blame. So then we get Bruce waking up inside of Father Peter's home. And Father Peter says, "I hope you don't mind. The hospital is a good hour away. They really got us pretty good." Bruce then looks over at this picture of Father Peter's and asks, "Is this you?" And it looks to be a picture of him during a protest, and he says, "A long time ago now. I made a lot of friends during that time. All of us chasing peace. A never-ending journey, it seems." Basically saying that it's pretty much in human nature that people are always going to look for problems. It's a never-ending story. Bruce then goes on to ask, "The tattoo on the boy's arm, what does it mean?" Father Peters replies with, 6 months ago we had an outsider come, recruiting. I don't know much about him except that he's been filling the holes in the hearts of our boys. All the men here, really. He's given them a dark place to go. Bruce then asks, they said something was happening soon. And Father Peter says, the boy and his mother, they're from an encampment. They plan to run them out of town by any means necessary. Bruce then just grabs his jacket and storms outside. Father Peter says, they torched your car, I'm sorry. But Bruce says it doesn't matter. And Father Peter just asks, where are you going? What are you going to do? And Bruce just ends it with, sometimes peace isn't an option. That's kind of scary to see Batman say that. We then cut over to DJ and his gang outside of the encampment, and they're kind of surrounding this police car, and they just say, DJ, you know we can't let you do this. And then they just start laughing. And they put on these ski masks, and they're in on it with them. They're basically going to go tear up this whole camp with this whole gang. So there's no safety for these people here at all. And DJ just screams, let's clean up this town. And they do. They just tear up the whole town. And DJ says, do you see us? Do you see me? I am the new truth. I am power. Pure power. And before he can say anything else, Batman just shows up and breaks this guy's arm in the worst possible way I've ever seen someone get their arm broken. In the next few panels is Batman brutally beating the shit out of these guys. And I'm pretty sure that this second guy, the cop, is dead after this, because look at his neck as Batman just slams his head right into the ground. If he's not dead, he's definitely a vegetable now. We then see the gun shop owner from earlier grab this kid as leverage. He's putting a gun to his head, and Batman just throws 3 batarangs directly into his skull, and then gives him the Rick Flag Sr. treatment from Peacemaker. And the kid's just terrified. I mean, why wouldn't you be? I mean, you just watched all these people get beat the shit out of, and then you have this 7-foot-tall black figure just looming over you. I'd be shitting my pants too. We then see Bruce notice a set of keys on the gun shop owner. Remember this because it's very important for later. Batman then makes his way back to DJ, who gets a gun and at a last-ditch effort tries to kill Batman, but it just doesn't work. And Batman, yet again, feeds his fist to another man. It is just so brutal. And Batman just starts brutally beating the absolute shit out of this guy. He's trying to kill him. Like, he does not plan on letting this guy live. And in a weird turn of events, Father Peters actually intervenes in the similar way that he intervened with DJ when they were beating up Bruce. And Bruce just goes, what are you doing? And Father Peters replies, this won't fix it. It won't. I don't know how to make it better. I only know how to not make it worse. Please, this isn't the way. And Bruce, just scarily looming over him, doesn't tell him, screams at him and says, this is my way. And oh my god, look at how absolutely terrifying he looks. He just looks like a straight demon. We then see the rest of the gang that got to escape, and they're basically saying they got DJ. And the guy at the camp says, what are you talking about? And the guy says, he came out of nowhere, man. Somebody came at us. Someone huge. All the while, Batman's investigating these set of keys, and we cut away to him finding the mining truck that he later turns into his Batmobile. So now we actually have an explanation as to where he got this giant vehicle. We then see the gang trying to gear up for an assault, and one guy says, why didn't you grab more guns? What about Earl's? And he just says, we just came from there. Everything's gone. And we just see Batman revving up his goddamn mining truck, and the guys try to escape in time, but before they can even do anything, Batman just crashes the truck directly into the building, probably killing pretty much anyone in its way. And Bruce just kicks the door in, they start shooting, he's swinging his battle axe, and one guy just says, get back, man. You can't do this, we're human beings. And Batman just replies, no, you're roaches. Only one way to deal with those. And he just torches the whole building, killing every single person in here. Batman just stuck it to white supremacy in the craziest way possible. But yeah, he just killed every single person in here. It's just like one of the darkest moments I think we've ever seen out of a Batman story ever. We then see Father Peter show up, and he just has a med kit, and he starts helping the people that are on the ground. And Bruce sees this, and he just asks him, like, why? Why are you helping these people? And Father Peters just replies, you have your way, and I have mine. And this kind of serves as the moment where, like, Bruce starts to realize that he can't be a killer. Like Father Peters has a point here. Like, he is just going to end up making things worse in the long run. We then cut away to Bruce taking his, mining truck back to the Batcave, and he starts to reminisce on the conversation that he was having with his father. And he says, "You did a lot of cool stuff when you were younger, Dad." And his dad replies, "I don't know about that." And Bruce just goes, "You made a difference. You did something. And I'm going to do that too. I'm going to be just like you. I just have to figure out how." And we see young Bruce holding the exact same picture that he's seen in Father Peter's house, meaning that Bruce's dad and Father Peter's were actually friends and they knew each other during the protest, which is why the picture was so significant to Bruce when he was inside of Father Peter's home. His dad then says, "We barely knew what we were doing then, but I guess I barely know what I'm doing now. But you, Bruce, I know your nature. I know who you are deep down. You have a strong and compassionate heart. All you have to do is be yourself. No matter what you do, I will always be proud of you." And we get to see this crazy moment where Batman just breaking down right in front of the Batmobile because he essentially just betrayed the memory of his father. Everything that his father stood for and that he said he was going to be just like him, he just went against everything he said. And that is the end of the comic. What a crazy, dark read. Honestly, I feel like this comic's going to be talked about for a very long time. And I'm really glad that we got to see the origin of the Batmobile. Now, if only we can get an explanation onto how the fuck this guy's cape works. Let me know what you thought about this comic in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.